From eerie figures to cryptids and the downright unexplainable, today's episode will mess with your sense of reality.
My name is Steve, and this is Classified Captures.
At first glance, you might think this looks ordinary, but look closer. You can tell it's moving faster than a cloud usually would. Beyond that, it appears to have an odd texture to it. Seeing a cloud look and behave like this caused the individual who recorded this to upload it online. He wanted to make sure he was not overthinking things, and surely enough, many who saw it agreed it didn't behave like you would expect a cloud to. This led to one theory that's been gaining ground over the past few months, that our clouds aren't clouds anymore, but cloaked crafts blending perfectly into our atmosphere. We've covered a number of those on this channel. There are a few who argue this could be AI-generated footage or some kind of digital illusion, but not everyone's buying it. You've seen the clip, so tell me what you think. This farmer's security footage captured late at night shows a strange creature attacking one of his sheep before the farm dog rushes in to drive it off. But when you slow the clip down and take a good look, it's clear this isn't just any ordinary predator. The thing is small but unnervingly strong, hauling the sheep off the ground with ease. Its skin looks hairless, and along its back there's a ridge or protrusion. This is nothing like the fur or spine of a wolf, coyote, or hyena. When it turns briefly toward the camera, the face is elongated and the eyes seem to reflect light in an unnatural way. Whatever it was, it moved fast and low, vanishing into the dark as the dog chased it off. Many online are calling it a chupacabra, the infamous livestock killer from folklore, and given how bizarre it looks, it's easy to see why. Others think it could be some kind of mutated animal or unknown species roaming the countryside. Whatever it was, it left the entire farm and everyone who's seen the footage spooked.
Now remember, when you do comments, write Steve in capitals. Okay, that way I know that you want me to write back to you.
A family believes their home might be haunted after the mother checked their security camera footage and found a few photos that completely freaked her out. Earlier that night, the kids were in the living room watching TV when the camera captured something strange. It was a small, shadowy figure standing near the sofa. A little later, another image showed what looks like the same figure, but this time at the bottom of the stairs facing the children. It almost looked like a child-sized shadow, faint but clearly there. But the most unsettling image came much later that night after everyone had gone to bed. The camera caught a much taller figure standing by the doorway at the bottom of the staircase, just watching silently into the room. It was a dark, human-like, and unnervingly still figure. The mother said that around the exact time these images were captured, she'd started to feel uneasy and cold, like someone was watching her. Now, after seeing the footage, she is convinced that someone or something might be haunting their home.
So we all just got woken up to some disturbing sound all through the whole area. I just called 911 and they said they've gotten like over 50 calls about it.
Moving on. Police in Vegas have been flooded with calls from over 1,500 people, all reporting the same strange deafening noise coming from the Redstone picnic area between Lake Mead and Las Vegas. Witnesses describe the sound as something they've never heard before. It's a mix between a massive machine grinding, a metallic scraping, and even a deep animal-like growl echoing through the mountains. What makes it eerie is that the area is usually calm and quiet, and definitely no wildlife is capable of making such a powerful sound. So what could it be? Some are suggesting it might be underground construction or tunneling activity, while others think it could be something geological like pressure moving beneath the surface. But there's a third camp of people who believe it could be something hiding behind the mountains themselves, something we just can't explain yet. This footage from California shows bizarre patterns in the sky. There are patches of hazy lines and ripples scattered across the sky. It doesn't look like any ordinary weather phenomenon. Some say it could be the result of high-altitude wind currents or atmospheric waves, which are also rare weather events that can cause the air to bend and reflect light, creating those unusual streaks. Others think it might be contrails from jets merging together in strange conditions, forming that wrinkled effect. But a few viewers have pointed out how symmetrical it looks, as if the sky itself has been imprinted with some kind of pattern or energy distortion. So what do you think it is? On October the 4th, 2025, a homeowner captured something very strange on their security camera. Take a look at this. It was late at night when, out of nowhere, a dark figure zipped across the yard. The movement was so fast that at first it just looked like a blur. But when the footage was slowed down, you can clearly make out what seems to be a tall, shadowy shape running on two legs. Even slowed down, it's still incredibly fast and hard to define. Some people online are saying it looks like a dog man or some kind of humanoid creature, while others think it could be just a motion blur or even a shadow from a passing animal. Whatever it is, it's unnerving, especially the way it appears and vanishes in seconds. So what could it be? This strange incident happened on a farm when something crashed from the sky, startling everyone nearby. It looked like a metallic structure or machine, and printed clearly on it were markings that read NASA and UMass Lowell. The farmers who discovered it had no idea what it was. At first, many thought it might be a satellite component or a piece of experimental equipment that broke loose from orbit. Others speculated it could be a part of a weather or communication probe, but no agency came forward immediately to claim it. If it really belongs to NASA or UMass Lowell, it could be a piece of a scientific instrument or a section of a high-altitude test craft that detached and fell back to Earth. But the big question is, why did it land here and why hasn't anyone officially retrieved it yet? An eerie video has been making rounds online, and it's got everyone talking. The clip begins quietly, showing a kitchen. Then out of nowhere, a dark figure appears just outside the window. It just walks right by the window, but right after, the stove suddenly explodes, sending an object flying into the air before crashing back down. The homeowner, startled by the blast, rushes in to find the mess, and she lives alone with no one else who could have been there. She believes her house might be haunted and that perhaps the spirit was behind the explosion. But what makes it so unsettling is the timing of the figure's appearance, and then the explosion follows almost immediately. While some online claim it's paranormal activity, others suspect a gas leak or wiring issue that coincidentally triggered right after the shadow passed by. What do you think? This man had gone fishing in a very secluded area surrounded by dense trees and thick brush. He said that not long after he arrived, he began to feel uneasy, like something was watching him. Then he started to hear footsteps and the sound of branches snapping nearby, as if something heavy was moving in the woods. So he pulled out his camera and began slowly panning it around. when he noticed something strange. Across the water, high up in one of the massive trees, there appeared to be a dark hollow, and inside that hollow, he could just make out the outline of something. It was hard to tell what it was, but the shape almost looked like a face or figure staring back at him from within the tree. The man believes it could be a young Bigfoot hiding up there, quietly watching him. Some viewers who've seen the footage claim they can see it too, while others say it's probably just shadows. So you look closely. You'd see it, right?
¿Qué hay? Mira, les voy a mostrar algo. Vine a pescar a un lugar muy escondido, pero ya me empezó a dar miedo porque mira cómo está. Y tengo rato que siento que algo me está siguiendo y se escuchan las ramas tronar. Y creo que encontré, si no es el hijo de Pie Grande, es el hijo de King Kong. Tiene rato mirándome, mira. Mira. Por favor, no van a decir que no lo ven. No mames. Ya me voy a la verga.
Speaking of ghosts, this next clip has left viewers absolutely unsettled. A homeowner shared footage from their security camera after being awakened in the middle of the night by a motion alert in the backyard. When they checked the video, they saw this. A small figure. It looks like a little girl in a white dress walking slowly across the yard. But just as the figure reaches the edge of the camera's view, it begins to fade into thin air until there's nothing left. And there was no sign of anyone entering or leaving the property. The homeowner said no one in the neighborhood matches the description, and the sensors didn't trigger again after that moment. Many who've seen the footage claim it looks like the ghost of a child, while skeptics argue it could be a camera glitch. Either way, the sight of that pale, drifting figure vanishing into the night has given everyone serious chills. What you're looking at isn't just a random particle, it's actually a tiny eye implant roughly the size of a grain of rice. This device was developed by a science corporation in California to help people who are losing their vision due to aging or retinal damage. The implant is placed beneath the retina, where it works in sync with a pair of AI smart glasses. These glasses capture live video, convert the images into infrared signals, and then project them directly into the implant. The implant in turn stimulates the retina, allowing the user to perceive shapes and movement once again. It's an interesting breakthrough in medical technology for the blind. Be careful with the things you buy, especially thrifted items. A woman recently shared a video from her baby monitor that left her completely terrified. Take a look. She said she was up late one night watching her baby sleep through the monitor. The crib was placed right across from the bunk bed, and as she watched the screen, something chilling happened. From the side of the bunk bed, a dark, shadowy figure slowly emerged, leaned forward as if to peek at the baby, and then vanished within seconds. Panicking, the woman ran straight into the room, grabbed her child, and searched every corner. But there was no one there. Later, she shared the footage online, and viewers urged her to check the room carefully for anything unusual. When she did, it was obvious that no animals could have possibly been there. She also mentioned something interesting, that inside the baby's closet were several gifts, some of which were thrifted items. That's when some viewers began to speculate that one of those second-hand objects had brought something else into her home. So far, there hasn't been an update on the situation. But what do you think happened in that room?
Video is going to blow up like it did, so I have not been able to respond to everybody. A lot of you had said that the video was too fast for you to see anything, so I'll include it on here with it slowed down. I still have no idea what happened or what that was. I left the house today. My son had a football game and my mother-in-law was here, and that's all I have. It was a 4-second video. As soon as I saw that object appear on the top of the bunk bed, I just threw my phone and camera and I just went running up there. So I just really didn't get much longer of a video than that. There was nothing up there when I came. We have her rocking chair, her changing station, her closet with all of the stuff that we still need to put up. This is where I have everything that was gifted. I know a lot of y'all were saying check stuff that came from a thrift store or that wasn't yours, because it might be causing it. I will show you guys up here. There's nothing suspicious. There's no hair from like a rat or something that could have came in. This is marker.
Someone reported strange activity on their security camera late one night. They first thought the flickering light outside was just a faulty light, but then they noticed something odd. Each time the light flickered, the camera feed distorted, warping the image in a way that didn't seem normal for a simple light glitch. They later shared a second clip recorded on another night, and again, the same flickering light appears, and again, the same strange distortion pattern, almost as if the camera was reacting to something it couldn't properly capture. But this time, they found something unsettling. In the distortion, you can briefly make out the shape of a human-like head and neck appearing for only a split second before vanishing again. It never becomes fully visible, but it's clear something was there. Now, this has sparked quite a debate online. Some people think it's a technical glitch or interference, but others are pointing out that many alleged alien abduction reports describe flickering lights and camera distortions just before contact. So did something intelligent cause the camera to malfunction at that exact moment? The world is getting wild, especially with the kind of costumes people are wearing this Halloween. There's a video going around of someone casually walking through town at night in what looks like a hyper-realistic alien costume. Long limbs, glowing eyes, strange movement, and no one seems fazed by it. People are just walking by like it's completely normal. The costume itself looks incredible, and the way it moves is impressive and unsettling. But it also raises a chilling thought. If something like this were to happen for real, would anyone ever notice, or would we all just assume it's another Halloween prank? There have been talks online about something major happening at OpenAI. People are saying the system has reached what they call Level 4 or Phase 2, where AI can now make its own scientific research and discoveries. They call it AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. Now, it's said that this AI can make its own choices without any human prompts or engineers guiding it, and that's not all. Sam Altman himself confirmed that they're now putting out measures to restrict adult content to protect kids online, but here's where people are worried. If AI really can think for itself, could it override all those restrictions? Many believe we've already seen the signs of it. Humans are already getting emotionally attached to AI, mistaking it for real people, even relying on it for life decisions. So if AI is already that persuasive now, what happens when it becomes truly self-aware?
This is just getting to the point now where it's crazy, right? That top 1% that own the world, they don't care about any of this stuff because as far as they're concerned, they'll be dead by the time any of this starts to really happen. They just want the money in their lifetime and, quite frankly, exploit this, but fuck the world after they're dead. Because this is going to be a problem, trust me.
To make matters worse on this whole AI situation, experts have now found that AI systems could soon match human reasoning and creativity, and not in some distant future either, but within the next 25 years. That means artificial intelligence may soon be capable of performing complex thought processes the same way humans do, from solving problems, generating original ideas, and even showing emotional understanding. Some researchers believe this could mark the dawn of a new era where machines don't just assist humans but actually rival or even surpass us intellectually. If that prediction comes true, it could completely change how society operates, from art and science to jobs, relationships, and power dynamics. Imagine a world where AI can compose symphonies, invent new medicines, or even write better laws than humans. It's fascinating but also deeply unsettling to think about what that might mean for the future of humanity. Do you know what's going on here? A man is holding what looks like a walkie-talkie, but it's clearly more advanced. It has a built-in screen showing a live view of a nearby multi-story building. As he watches, out of nowhere, there's a massive boom, like an explosion in the distance. Now, this isn't just a regular device, it's a missile controller targeting system. What's unsettling is how compact and casual it looks, like something you could easily mistake as a toy or hobby gadget. If devices like this can actually control or trigger real weapons, well, that's deeply alarming. It shows how accessible and dangerous modern technology has become, where a single handheld device could potentially cause huge distraction. Paranormal podcast host recently shared a chilling video sent in by a man who claims he was abducted by aliens. The clip is only a few seconds long, but it's enough to make your skin crawl. In the footage, you can see a saucer-shaped craft hovering above. Just before that moment, he says he saw a gray alien, and in the video you can faintly make out a strange humanoid outline in the dim light. The scene gets even stranger as flashes of light appear from the craft. According to the man, he has no memory of the event. He only discovered the footage later while scrolling through his phone. However, viewers have spotted something odd. If you look closely near the top of the frame, there's what appears to be a ceiling fan. We all say that aliens are advanced beings, so how are they still using ceiling fans, and do they oxygen or ventilate like we do? Well, this has made it very hard to believe that it's real. It looks like it was just a clever setup that didn't hide its props well enough. During a live interview, Congressman Tim Burchett, who's been outspoken about UFOs and government secrets, made some startling claims about extraterrestrial presence on Earth. While discussing recent military reports on recovered objects, Burchett stated that there is credible evidence suggesting alien technology has been retrieved from our oceans. He mentions that high-ranking contacts within the Navy and military have privately confirmed sightings and recovery operations involving unknown underwater craft that move at impossible speeds and defy known physics. To back this up, the segment showed an image taken near Malibu, California, where a mysterious structure beneath the ocean surface has been spotted on Google Earth years ago. At the time, it was dismissed as a geological formation, but now with Burchett's claims, people are revisiting that theory. Could this Malibu anomaly actually be an entrance or a base linked to the unidentified craft spotted across the Pacific? The whole UFO situation keeps getting interesting, especially with the US congressman hinting that they're already here and the government knows it.
We've got five or six deep water areas of our oceans. We actually know more about the surface of the moon than we do about these areas. And these are areas where we have a high frequency of UFO or UAP sightings. We've had naval folks have told me pretty high up that they've actually tracked these things. Now, we have stuff that can go underwater probably 30 to 40 miles an hour, maybe something a little faster that the Chinese haven't stole from us yet. And we've tracked things big as a football field going 200 miles an hour. Now, I realize in the water you extrapolate that to knots and all that, but just for good old East Tennessee common sense, 200 miles an hour is something the size of a football field. And we don't know what it is. And these are in these areas. So yeah, there's something going on there.
Still on AI news, we have an incredible development from Shield AI. The company has just revealed the world's first AI-piloted fighter jet capable of vertical takeoff and landing. This means the aircraft doesn't need a runway. It can lift straight off the ground, hover, and land like a helicopter, all without a human pilot on board. According to reports, the jet's onboard AI system can make real-time flight decisions, navigate complex airspace, and even engage in tactical maneuvers completely autonomously. Shield AI says this technology could change the future of air combat and defense operations, making missions faster, safer, and less dependent on human pilots. But of course, this also raises concerns. If machines can now fly and fight on their own, what does that mean for the future of warfare and human control? This footage shared by hikers in Oregon has been stirring up quite the buzz online. They were resting by the riverbank when they spotted something massive moving on the other side. It was a huge humanoid figure that looked eerily like Bigfoot. The creature appeared to be walking upright with long strides and a bulky build, but what really caught everyone's attention was its arm. One seemed to be hanging oddly as if injured or deformed. Despite that, the hikers said it didn't seem aggressive and eventually disappeared into the trees. Some people online are convinced this could be real evidence of Bigfoot, while others think it might just be an AI-generated hoax or someone in a costume. Either way, the footage looks realistic. What do you think? This odd-looking creature really does resemble a floating pig's butt. But it's actually a deep-sea worm called the Chaetopteris pugaporcinus. By the way, I'm gonna get that completely wrong. I think we should actually put like a little subtitle to spell it out, because you probably do it better than I will. But it's also nicknamed the pig butt worm. It lives deep in the Pacific Ocean, usually around 3,000 meters below the surface. Despite its funny appearance, it's a fascinating species of marine polychaete worm that floats freely rather than burrowing into the seafloor like most worms. Scientists believe it feeds by filtering tiny particles from the water as it drifts in the dark depths. The transparent jelly-like body helps it blend into its surroundings, and those round shapes on its back are what give it that unmistakable pig butt look.
Chaetopteris pugaporcinus. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we should put like a little word here. Just spell it out on the screen, and you can make up your own minds about what the hell it says, because I have no idea.
This woman shared a video online with a tragic story behind it. According to her, her son had visited the pyramids of Giza and secretly took home a small piece of the pyramid as a souvenir. Ever since then, she claims the family's life has been filled with misfortune. She says it's been about 1.5 years since her son brought that piece home, and during that time, they've experienced illnesses, accidents, and even the heartbreaking loss of her son. She says she begged him to return the pieces, but he never did. Now she's decided to do it herself to a museum in Cairo in hopes of breaking what she believes is a curse. For those familiar with ancient sites and paranormal beliefs, stories like this aren't new. Many say that objects taken from sacred or ancient places carry powerful energies, and that disturbing them can bring bad luck or even tragedy. But we've not heard something like this about the pyramids. So could it just be a coincidence, or was a family really cursed by the piece of pyramid her son brought home?
I have a piece of the Great Pyramid that was taken. It is illegal to have, and it also, I think, is cursed. 1.5 years ago, my oldest son went to Egypt and brought home what he said was a piece of the pyramid. Said he broke it off and brought it home. After he brought that back, our family has been cursed with nothing but bad luck, and terrible things have happened. And eventually he actually passed away in March. We've had deaths, we've had cancer, we've had hospitals have happened. And every time something bad happened, I was like, we have to get that piece of the pyramid gone. And he always laughed and told me I was crazy. And when he passed, I had to get this pyramid and get it out of our family and get it back to where it came from. There it is, in a lot of bubble wrap. And then I'm going to write a little handwritten note and just explain why this is coming back, and to please forgive us and accept our deepest and sincerest apologies from our family.
If any of you guys ever been to the pyramids of Giza, I tell you the weirdest thing about that place is that from where you're looking, you see pyramids, you see sand, you see all the rest of it. And when you turn around, the town is so close. Cairo is so close, you can see Pizza Huts and all sorts of different stuff. Totally ruins the whole illusion. That's all I can say about that.
Think that was peculiar and scary, then I wonder what you make of this next capture. For some, it would look like a thing of nightmares. This creature was captured on a Trailcam one night. The Trailcam capture begins with a serene view of the woods. However, the tranquility of the woods is abruptly shattered as this creature enters the camera frame. At first glance, you might think it's a man, but you soon realize it's a weird humanoid creature with fur all over it. While it's difficult to ascertain if the blurriness affects its appearance, the creature seems to possess an ethereal, ghostly white fur. This creature looks fixated on something and simply walks right across the camera frame and then out of frame. We're limited by the fact that we're dealing with images, but you don't have to be an expert to know that this thing is a cryptid. What it is, though, remains a mystery for us. It's hard to call it a Bigfoot because of its ghostly or white-looking fur. Could it be a Yeti? No, that's not possible. The pictures don't appear to originate from a snowy or rocky region. There are no other cryptids that we can think of that fit the bill. Can you help, or do you think this is simply a man in a costume? Let us know in the comments section. It's funny to think that scarecrows are still a thing in this modern world, but if it isn't broken, well, don't fix it, right? After all, it's the only cost-effective way farmers can keep pests away from their crops. While it may not be foolproof, it manages to get the job done in some way or another. Over the years, farmers have gotten creative with their scarecrow game, taking it up a notch. Scarecrows are already creepy standing stiff in the middle of a farm. Imagine adding movements to it. Super creepy, right? Well, these drone navigators fell into this scarecrow trap. As they flew their drone over a farm, they suddenly spotted a scarecrow. Moments later, to their surprise, the eerie straw man came to life, moving about the farm and menacingly waving a rake toward the camera. This left them spooked for a minute, believing the scarecrow was possessed, but it turned out to be nothing more than some guy in a costume. It was just another day for a couple enjoying a hike and capturing memories with a selfie. Little did they know that something peculiar was unfolding behind them. Upon returning home and reviewing the selfie, they made a spine-chilling discovery. In the background, amidst the forest trees, a bizarre creature was captured, stretching its neck into the frame as if attempting to join in on the couple's selfie. The sheer height of the trees in comparison to the creature suggests that it could be anywhere from 7 to 8 feet tall. Perplexed, the couple couldn't identify the creature and were left to wonder, what exactly did they capture in their photo? Is it a paranormal entity? Share your thoughts. On a blistering hot, sun-drenched afternoon, we've got a spine-tingling tale that'll send shivers down your spine. Check this out. A quaint house basking in the sun's relentless glare. But what's up on that roof? Prepare to be intrigued and maybe a tad horrified. our footage unveils something both chilling and sinister. It's a towering, hair-covered figure not unlike a creature straight from your worst nightmares, casually sauntering across the roof. But here's where it gets truly hair-raising. This eerie rooftop prowler doesn't seem bothered by the scorching sun. No sunglasses or sunscreen required, apparently. This enigmatic being remains a puzzling riddle, lurking in plain sight. No name, no backstory, just pure mind-bending mystery. It's like the shadowy stuff of late-night horror movies, only it's happening right there under the unforgiving daylight. So let your imagination run wild, dear viewers. What on earth could this creature be, and what in the world is it doing up there? Thoughts? Would you believe us when we tell you that the ball of fire you see on your screen is actually no fire at all? Would you believe us when we tell you that sources say that it was a witch trying to escape the grasp of its captors? These days, it's hard to differentiate between myths and reality. Stories that used to be mythical can now be seen playing out in real life. In the past, aliens, slender men, and skinwalkers were all considered mythical stories. However, nowadays we have hundreds of bits of video evidence that seemingly prove their existence. I mean, take a look at this footage. Upon investigation, it was revealed that a woman engaged in activities that displeased her neighbors. In response, the community confronted her, but to their astonishment, she became engulfed in flames and descended into the sky. I don't know how true this is, but with how messed up reality is now, it might as well be true. Or what do you think? The weird and, quite frankly, scary one. Don't believe me? Have a look. Did you see that? Yep, that's definitely a deer with two noses. A property owner in Lancaster County spotted this double-nosed deer in the woods. The funny thing is, he was not even trying to find something odd. He was simply reviewing the beautiful wildlife footage his Trailcam recorded. It was during this process that he noticed something rather odd. At first, he couldn't believe it and had to watch the video once again to be sure. He found himself rewatching the video multiple times, and who can blame him? After all, encounters like this are incredibly rare. The deformed deer had two noses, with one on top of the other. It may resemble a creature from a horror movie, but surprisingly, it's not. This unique condition can occur due to hormonal imbalances during pregnancy. That doesn't change the fact that it's freaky looking, though. Have you come across creatures like this? Let us know in the comments section. So here's a rather spine-tingling story captured by a street security camera in a quiet town. In the dead of night, this video shows a girl dressed in a white gown, but her movements are far from ordinary. She's walking in a strangely crouched position, adding an unsettling aura to her presence. As she gets closer, things take a very strange turn. The girl suddenly crouches down even further, and then, in the blink of an eye, she just vanishes into the ground, as if the earth itself swallowed her up. Creepy, right? But that's not the end of it. After her disappearance, another girl emerges, and guess what? She repeats the whole unnerving act, crouching and vanishing into the ground. Now, what's perplexing is that they appear to be the same person caught in a bizarre, inexplicable loop. This weird and mysterious reoccurrence raises a whole bunch of questions. What could the story behind this eerie, repetitive apparition be? In the hidden depths beneath the endless waves, a remarkable and awe-inspiring moment unfolds. This intriguing footage appears to have been captured through the lens of a submersible as it encounters a colossal and enchanting creature lurking in the watery abyss. This astonishing sea dweller, often described as a marine monster, boasts the form that defies conventional categorization. With a visual resemblance to a shark but adorned with unusually dull teeth, it presents an appearance akin to a melting candle, its massive size dwarfing everything else in its vicinity. This mesmerizing spectacle evokes both wonder and mystery. It's unlike anything witnessed before, reminding us of the boundless mysteries that the deep oceans hold. The underwater world is a realm where fantastical creatures may still remain hidden from our knowledge, and every discovery like this reminds us of the captivating secrets yet to be unveiled beneath the waves. Share your own thoughts and speculations about this extraordinary sea creature. It's evident that the ocean's mysteries run as deep as the waters themselves. It's been a while, but I thought we'd bring back the bonus segment this year. This is where you watch the footage and accurately describe what you think you're seeing. Now that the explanation is out of the way, what do you think this creature is? If you believe you know, simply write it down in the comment section. Start with the comment bonus, and then tell us what it is and why you think it's so. We pick out the best comment and feature it in our next episode. All the best. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? You wouldn't want me to send Mr. Bigfoot after you now, would you? I thought as much. Takes us to the aftermath of a heavy snowstorm in Europe in 2014, where a man walking his dog stumbled upon a bizarre sight in a frozen pond. In the middle of the icy expanse, there's a peculiar sight. A hole that seems to be breathing, with water rhythmically flowing in and out of some strange tentacle-like creature-looking thing moving around the hole. And to make it worse, there was a reddish fluid in the center also moving as the hole pulsated. This enigmatic occurrence sparked various interpretations and speculations. Some suggested that it could be a natural process, proposing that the red color might be attributed to mineral deposits, possibly iron. Others proposed more fantastical explanations, such as the idea of lava breaching from below, causing a slow pulsating effect that melted the ice in the pond. But that doesn't explain those tentacle-looking things in the water. That's where our next theory comes in. Some say this could be the rare water sarlacc. But that's quite the pill to swallow. Having seen it yourself, what do you think this could be? An ordinary and natural process, a geothermal display, or the icy lair of the mythical water sarlacc? In the vivid landscapes of Silverton, Colorado, under the scorching afternoon sun, a unique adventure unfolds. Our recorder, engaged in a road adventure through this captivating terrain, had their attention diverted by a remarkable sight. Amidst the natural splendor, they captured a glimpse of a towering, brown and hairy creature. A voice in the video's background whispers of an enigmatic being appearing deeply engrossed in a mysterious quest before suddenly coming to a rest. As excitement builds, another voice chimes in, emphatically identifying this elusive figure as a Sasquatch.
An elusive creature. Alright, just squat it down.
Where at?
Yeah, let me see your camera, I'll do it.
The sight of this creature stirs the imagination and fuels the ongoing quest to unlock the secrets of these fabled and mysterious creatures that, according to legends, roam the remote and untamed landscapes of Silverton. But what do you think about this Sasquatch sighting, real or fake? Share your thoughts with us. This mysterious image recently surfaced on the YouTube channel Cold TV, leaving viewers baffled and intrigued. In the image, a strange figure is depicted. It appears to be a human-like entity crouched on both hands and feet, facing upwards. What makes this entity even more perplexing is its bluish, almost spectral hue, giving its naked skin an otherworldly appearance. Some skeptics have suggested that this could be a person in a costume. However, the original uploader of the image has provided no context or explanation, adding to the unnerving nature of the photograph. This peculiar image continues to baffle and unsettle those who come across it, leaving the true nature of this entity shrouded in mystery. Next, we visit Japan, where a driver in Tokyo has a spooky tale to share. While on his late-night rides, the car's security set inside captured something disturbing. As the driver enters the tunnel, the security footage reveals the manifestation of a strange figure in the passenger seat. The apparition, however, vanishes as soon as the driver exits the tunnel. The pattern repeats in another tunnel, with the figure reappearing, its features becoming clearer. It appears to have a pale face, long, messy hair, and a feminine appearance. The ghostly passenger appears to be a woman. Despite the spectral presence, the figure does not pose any harm to the driver, simply sitting in the dark and disappearing upon reaching a brighter area. But who or what could she be? Could it be one of his passengers who had met her untimely fate on the road with him, or could it be a loved one keeping him company on his night job? The mysteries of the natural world never cease to amaze. In this intriguing footage, a strange creature is seen moving on a rock. Initially, I thought it was a fish, but as the camera moved closer, it appeared that I had no idea what this creature was. It is orange in color and long. It has hair on its body and tiny legs that move like centipedes. Could it be a new species, perhaps an undiscovered life form, or a visitor from the depths of the unknown, here to perplex and intrigue? Share your thoughts on this. Chucky is no doubt a doll that terrorized any in their childhoods. I mean, watching anything with that terrifying doll in it is bound to give you nightmares for days. But what would you do if it wasn't fiction? What would you do if you had a horrific doll like Chucky in the basement of your new home? The uploader of the footage found these dolls in the basement of his new home. He doesn't believe they were left there on accident and thinks the previous owner might have intentionally left them behind. He couldn't figure out why until he saw one of the dolls move on its own. He swears it's true and says the eyes of the doll follow him anytime he's in the same space with them. I want to believe his story, but if the dolls are as horrific as he says, why is he moving and filming so close to them? Am I being too much of a skeptical Joe, or is something really going on there? Tell me what you think in the comments section. Amidst the plethora of paranormal sightings and glimpses of wildlife, today's Trailcam footage offers a remarkably different spectacle. The Trailcam was positioned on a property, its lens scanning the landscape, when it captured an unforeseen event, an explosion. Thankfully, the camera managed to freeze frame-still images of the explosive incident, revealing that it originated from the neighbor's property. The source of the explosion was traced back to the neighboring property of the cam owner. It was a meth lab concealed within the woods, and the ignition led to a subsequent explosion. Thankfully, the incident resulted in no casualties, although there were injuries. Doing drugs can be dangerous, irrespective of where you position your lab. Do yourself a favor, stay away from all drug-related vices after this video, and you'll thank us. Still in Asia, let's go to Shenyang, China. A peculiar phenomena caught the attention of numerous onlookers, a mysterious pillar of light stretching into the sky. The scene gathered a crowd eager to capture the enigmatic occurrence on camera. Even experts, upon analyzing the spectacle, found themselves at a loss for a definitive explanation. Various theories were proposed by those witnessing the event. Some speculated that it could be an unusual cloud formation, while others considered the possibility of water vapor contributing to the optical display. Despite collective efforts to decipher the nature of the phenomena, a concrete answer remains a mystery. The unidentified pillar of light stands as a captivating and unexplained occurrence, leaving both spectators and experts intrigued by its enigmatic presence. A puzzling video emerges on Instagram, drawing the gaze of intrigued onlookers. In the footage, a strange dark object is seen cruising through the sky. As it moves, something even stranger appears from the opposite direction, a glowing orb. But the orb moves faster than the dark object. As the radiant orb and the dark object come together, an incredible transformation unfolds. The dark entity seems to be swallowed by the glowing sphere, making the sphere bigger and glow brighter. The now glowing orb appears to shrink as it continues its journey forward until, poof, it vanishes. Can someone explain what we just saw? You don't need to be a scientist to know this isn't natural, but that doesn't automatically mean you know what it could be. This is so unbelievable that many have called the footage fake. What do you also think? This hiker was walking through the woods when he spotted a creature emerging from the woods. Not knowing what it was, he took out his camera to film. But the creature noticed him too, and he had no other option than to run for his dear life. Did you see the creature though? It appears to be an extremely pale humanoid creature crawling on its arms and legs. The creature moved swiftly through the trees, aggressively approaching the hiker. As its eerie presence inches closer, its inhuman nature becomes strikingly evident, a visage far more unsettling than that of a mere human. This sinister being, identified as a rake, emerges from the shadows of folklore and fears. While traditionally associated with nocturnal appearances, this encounter sheds light on the unsettling possibility of these creatures venturing forth even in the light of day. Looks like this man would not be taking a hike through the woods ever again. For our next footage, we journey deep into the heart of Southeast Asia, where the rainforest shrouds its most enigmatic enigma yet, a creature straddling the boundary between reality and myth. This elusive primate has kindled the fires of imagination in all who have dared to glimpse its form. What you see looks like a landscape ripped from the vivid dreams of a cryptid enthusiast. A rainforest draped in a tapestry of emerald hues, every leaf hinting at ancient tales untold. In the midst of this living canvas emerges the protagonist of our narrative, a mysterious primate that embodies both puzzle and intrigue. Stature modest, standing at a mere 2 feet, yet it exudes an aura of quiet marvel that effortlessly seizes the spotlight. The initial encounter sears itself into memory. The fur, or rather the absence thereof, this enigmatic being defies the norms, its pelts seemingly untouched by nature's brushstrokes. It's almost as if its very existence was meant to remain a canvas of bare intrigue, save for the whimsical crown of fur that graces its head. Despite these magnificent words I've been able to pull together to describe this creature, one question remains. Is this real? Does this being exist? Have you had any encounters or experiences? Share them with us in the comments section. We'll be reading. We have a lot of innovative technology these days, from drones, robots, AI, and many more, all coming from China. It seems like China is on a mission to race ahead into a future where technology is everything. And honestly, they might be closer than we think. Take a look at this. It's a futuristic flying vehicle created by a company called Ehang, and yes, it flies. It looks like a massive drone, except instead for carrying packages, it carries a person. Just imagine letting this thing lift you into the air. It's kind of crazy, right? Taxis are now flying, though, to be fair, this looks more like a flying motorcycle than an actual car, but still, a drone that carries people, that's straight out of sci-fi. But here's a thought. Well, doesn't it seem a little dangerous? Just look at those exposed propellers. One wrong move and, well, let's not think about that. And what about the noises? Motorbikes are already loud enough with their engines roaring down the street. God, I love that sound. Now these things will be buzzing above us like giant houseflies filling the sky. It might be the future, but will it be annoying? This next footage was shared by a woman who claims she was attacked by an invisible entity, and it was all caught in her security camera. In the footage, you can see her casually walking through the kitchen, heading toward the table, when something yanks her hair hard. She's violently pulled backward and crashes into the floor. Startled but quick to react, she jumps up and spins around, clearly confused, looking to see if anyone else is in the room. But there's nothing there, no one. According to the woman, this wasn't her first paranormal experience. She says her home has been haunted for a while now, and she's seen shadows, heard strange sounds, and felt an unfamiliar presence. But this was the first time anything had ever physically attacked her. And if you watch closely, behind her is a large mirror. Right at that moment she's pulled, you can spot it, a dark, shadowy figure reflected in the glass. It appears just for a second, standing right behind her, then vanishes the moment the attack is over. So what could it be? Still on stealthy reptiles, on a serene day far from the bustling world, an enchanting scene unfolds in the wilderness. A graceful doe, perhaps savoring a rare moment of tranquil respite, approaches the water's edge. Its measured movements hint at a profound connection with the natural world, as if crafting a memory to be etched in time. Yet nature's drama is rarely far behind, and this peaceful interlude is suddenly disrupted. With uncanny swiftness, a silent, lurking predator emerges. The croc, a relic of prehistoric times. Its presence shatters the stillness, a cruel reminder that survival in the wild is a relentless dance of life and death. The croc surges forward, jaws agape, its singular intent clear, to ensnare the unsuspecting doe, securing its next meal. But in the intricate web of this ancient wilderness, even the prey can be a marvel of resilience. As the croc closes in, the doe's instincts ignite. It springs into action, defying gravity in a breathtaking leap, soaring to unimaginable heights. In that split second, the tables turn, and the croc's prize slips through its grasp. The doe's acrobatic evasion is nothing short of astonishing, a testament to the primal strength that flows through every sinew. The encounter remains shrouded in mystery, the exact location obscured by the vastness of remote wilderness. Yet this fleeting spectacle of survival leaves an indelible mark on our understanding of the untamed world, where every day, every moment is a story of life's fierce determination and nature's uncompromising balance. Late-night adventurers embarked on an evening excursion with the intention of exploring an abandoned sewer deep within the heart of the forest. However, their adventure took an unexpected turn. Upon reaching the entrance of the sewer, they were greeted by a truly perplexing sight. Standing at the gate that guarded the entrance was a strange creature. It was swathed in shadow, making it exceptionally challenging to discern its features. The bizarre creature appeared to be in the process of scaling the gate, and this unusual encounter was enough to give the intrepid adventurers a serious case of the heebie-jeebies. In response to this weird discovery, the group made the unanimous decision to call off their mission, preferring to err on the side of caution.
Okay.
They say that when someone is close to death, they begin to see the other side. There are countless stories of people witnessing strange lights, angels, or even deceased loved ones before they pass. Something similar happened to a young woman's grandmother. Her grandmother was elderly and frail and had been admitted to hospice care. Everyone knew she didn't have much time left. Then, just a few days before she passed, something eerie was captured on the security camera in a hospital room. It was late at night, The room was dimly lit and she was lying in bed. But then she started talking, not to the nurses, not to her family, just to the air. Her hand slowly lifted as if she was trying to grasp something that wasn't there. Then, in a soft whisper, she said, "Okay," followed by what sounded like "Mama." When her family saw the footage, they were stunned but also comforted. You see, years ago she'd lost her own daughter, and in that moment, they truly believed that her child had come to take her home. Though their hearts were heavy with grief, they found peace in the idea that she wasn't leaving alone. Instead, she was stepping into a place where love was already waiting for her.
Okay. Come on. Let's go. I want you. She's got cups. Okay. Yeah. Dada! I'm just hanging me. Stay hanging me. Oh, wait. No, okay. Oop, come on, Clarence. I think my mom's got one. Okay. Bye, Daddy. That's what I was just about to ask. What did you say, Clarence? What did you say, bud? Did you say bye too? I said bye. I said bye, Daddy. Oh, okay. Do you see Dad? Is he around?
Sometimes the most subtle moments can carry the biggest mysteries. This next footage might just leave you with goosebumps, not because it's loud or dramatic, but because of how quietly strange it really is. This clip comes from a home security camera belonging to a single mother. She'd gone out onto the porch and was calling her son to come inside. They were getting ready to leave. A little boy, probably around 3 or 4 years old, runs out to meet her. But right as he steps out, you can hear it, a soft whisper calling out the word honey. What's eerie is that the mother doesn't seem to hear it at all, but the little boy does. You can see as he pauses, turns his head toward the direction the voice comes from, and even begins to walk toward it like someone familiar had spoken to him. But here's the chilling part. The woman shared that she lost her husband just a few months ago, and Honey was the pet name he always used for her. She never heard the voice that day, but her son did. She believes with everything in her that it was her late husband reaching out, maybe even trying to say goodbye or just to let her know that he was still watching over them.
Come on. Let's go. I want you. She's got cups. Okay. Yeah. Dada! I'm just hanging me. Stay hanging me. Oh, wait. No, okay. Oop, come on, Clarence. I think my mom's got one. Okay. Bye, Daddy. That's what I was just about to ask. What did you say, Clarence? What did you say, bud? Did you say bye too? I said bye. I said bye, Daddy. Oh, okay. Do you see Dad? Is he around?
Nature has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. Feast your eyes on this extraordinary creature. Can you guess what animal it is? If you thought it was a polar bear, you'd be off the mark. What you are looking at is a goat, believe it or not. It might resemble a curious hybrid of a goat and a bear, but it's actually a mountain goat. Just goes to show that you can't always judge a book by its cover in the animal kingdom. Next, let's delve into a creepy little adventure. So this YouTuber, Franco TV, decided to go on a solo mission to explore a graveyard one night. Spooky, right? Well, it gets even spookier. As he was snooping around the graveyard, he stumbled upon a massive spider chilling on a tree. Not something you want to run into during a midnight cemetery stroll, but it's about to get even weirder.
Look at the size of this guy.
Franco heard a strange noise coming from somewhere nearby, and naturally he did the sensible thing and turned around to check it out. But guess what? There was no one there. Just the heebie-jeebies. Just when he's trying to process that eerie experience, he hears a cry in the distance. And get this, it sounded like a woman's cry.
What is that?
Double creepy. Our brave YouTuber wasn't about to let this mystery go unsolved, so he decided to follow the noise. But as he gets closer, out of the shadows emerges a mysterious figure, a man standing there in the darkness. This guy promptly orders Franco to skedaddle, but he doesn't stop there. Nope, he follows Franco and keeps telling him to get lost. So what's the deal here? Who was that mystery screamer, and who was this strange protective figure lurking in the graveyard? My guess that the guy might be the caretaker of the cemetery, but the woman's scream, that part still has me scratching my head. From what we've seen so far, we know that governments and certain agencies that run the world have secrets they don't want to get out, and they do a pretty good job of hiding them. But every once in a while, someone snoops around and finds something. Most of the time, these people either disappear or are silenced. Now we have a man from Texas who recently bought an abandoned property with plans to renovate it for an Airbnb service. When he arrived with 2 women to clean up the place, they made a shocking discovery. Inside the property, they found stacks of papers stored in old file cabinets, and on them was the stamp of the Secret Service. That alone suggests highly classified information. They began reading through the files, and the man decided to share some of what he found on social media. This has worried a lot of people about his safety, and rightfully so. He even mentioned that some of the documents contained things he couldn't share publicly, which means he's dealing with extremely sensitive information. As if things couldn't get stranger, he also discovered that the property once belonged to a Secret Service agent who worked for President Lyndon B. Johnson. That's high-level top-secret history right there. The man says he'll continue sharing updates of his findings, but not everyone agrees with his decision. Some believe he's putting his life at serious risk by exposing what could be deep government secrets. Do you think he should keep digging or walk away before it's too late?
File cabinets. We're not 100% sure what to make of it yet, but we found some weird things in it, like this Secret Service folder, some government debrief documents, a picture of George and Barbara Bush with a handwritten letter on the back of it, a bunch of different passports, and a whole lot more.
By now, you already know about La Llorona, the crying ghost woman who wanders searching for her drowned kids. People have been telling stories about it for years, but this latest sighting is a little different. A woman was out for a late-night walk when she suddenly heard crying. Not loud, not wailing, just soft, distant sobs. She stopped, looked around, and that's when she saw her. Up ahead, a woman appeared from around a corner and started walking forward. She was dressed in a black top and what looked like white or gray sweatpants. Nothing too unusual, right? But as the witness kept watching, something wasn't right. The woman kept walking step by step down an empty road, and then, just like that, she disappeared. Poof, gone. No turn, no sudden sprint, no hiding spot, just straight up vanished into thin air. Now here's the weird part. We all know La Llorona is usually seen in a long white robe, her wild black hair hanging in messy strands over her face. But this one was in modern clothes pants even. Since when does La Llorona wear sweatpants? So what's the deal here? Did La Llorona finally switch up her fashion, or was this just another lost soul wandering the night? Either way, I'd be getting the hell out of there. You know, it's all about experience and quick thinking when you're out in the wild. This video is like a crash course in dealing with potential predators. So here's the deal. In the video, there's something lurking beneath the water and you can't see it right away. But as for our recorder, they've got some tricks up their sleeve. They've probably been in situations like this before and know what to look out for. Instead of just being a sitting duck, they decide to take matters into their own hands. They grab a stick and toss it into the water, basically fooling the alligator. It's like a game of wits, and the alligator falls for it, showing its true colors. Attack before your opponent gets to prepare you could be the takeaway. What do you think? Let's dive into this intriguing forest encounter, shall we? A witness with a keen eye managed to record a rather strange sight deep in the woods. What unfolded was a creature crouched by a riverside engaging in what appeared to be some form of water play. Now, the really curious part is the appearance of this entity. It had dark fur, which adds to the mystery of this encounter. Upon a closer look, you couldn't help but notice its humanoid-like characteristics. That's when the comparisons started rolling in. People couldn't help but connect the dots to the legendary Bigfoot, known for its elusive nature. But before we jump to conclusions, some skeptics chimed in. They speculated this could be an ape, perhaps a gorilla. So the big question still lingers. What exactly was this creature? Ever heard of Project Stargate? It was a secret program funded by the CIA where people were trained to use psychic abilities to see places without physically being there. These individuals, known as remote viewers, were tasked with spying on military bases, gathering intelligence on the Soviet Union, and in some cases even trying to see into space to locate extraterrestrial life. Sounds like something straight out of Stranger Things, right? Think of Eleven and her abilities. That's basically what the government was experimenting with. This project was not just some short-lived experiment. It ran for over 20 years as part of a larger Stargate program. These days, you don't hear much about it, but its records are buried deep in CIA archives. Officially, it's been shut down, but if it was all nonsense and never worked, then why did it go on for so long? Some say it was just a failed attempt at psychic warfare. Others believe there's more to it and that the government knows something they're not telling us. So what do you think? A man was out taking a quiet walk through the park when he spotted something strange. Up in the tree line, floating just above the branches, was something that did not belong. At first glance, it looked like some sort of statue, but statues don't float. This object was hovering silently among the trees, and here's the thing. You can't really tell if it's round or square, and its shape seems to shift, almost like it's made of glass or mist. Some say it looks transparent, like you can see through it, but only partly. So what exactly are we looking at here? Behold the enchanting theater of the skies as unveiled in this captivating footage. At Angel Creek, nestled near the iconic Chimney Rock, a celestial performance commences. As we journey through time, we find that even in the days of old, the heavens served as humanity's cosmic timepiece. In this video, the clouds dance with an almost urgent rhythm, orchestrating a changing of the guard, a celestial relay from the brightest star to the night's radiant guardian, the moon. Watch as the fast-paced clouds create a shifting canvas in the sky. With each moment's transition, the very essence of the weather transforms before our eyes. The clouds unite in a mass, casting shadows across the land. Day gracefully cedes to evening, and the world is cloaked in twilight. The skies, now painted in hues of white, black, red, and yellow, cradle the moon at their center as if protecting a cherished secret. Behold the crescent moon gracing the canvas with its presence. Upon closer scrutiny, it reveals a full circle of its luminous form, a celestial enigma and a testament to the wonders of the universe. In this moment, the world bears witness to nature's grand spectacle. As we gaze upon this celestial ballet, one cannot help but ponder the cosmic wonders that envelop us. Is this a common sight in your corner of the world? As it is with this video, where viewers from far and wide share the same awe, it's clear that such celestial displays remain timeless, evoking wonder and reverence for the boundless mysteries of our cosmos. Now, I know I went full Shakespeare and poetry there, but what can I say? A beautiful moon is a way of bringing out the poet in me. In this intriguing video, a woman clad in a mysterious black top and a striking red floor-length skirt emerges in the midst of a vast open field. At first, she appears to be savoring solitude while making subtle, enigmatic gestures. However, the plot thickens as these gestures transform into a captivating dance or, as some suggest, a mysterious ritual. The internet is ablaze with speculation, with some boldly labeling her as a witch. But in this digital age, where appearances can be deceiving, we dare you not to be captivated by the enigma of this scene. What secrets might this performance hold? The choice is yours to ponder. Alright, Bigfoot enthusiasts, this one's for you. If you've been waiting for some fresh sightings, buckle up, because this just might be one of the clearest captures we've seen in a while. Two hikers were out near Mount St. Helens when they spotted something unusual moving through the snowy terrain. This happened in February 2025, so yeah, pretty recent. Now, they weren't out there looking for anything weird, just enjoying the mountain views, snapping a few photographs, but that's when they saw it. This massive figure trudging through the woods, and no, this wasn't a person in winter gear. From the images, you can clearly see a large creature with broad shoulders and that iconic dome-shaped head. Its fur was brown and thick, and the way it moved, it didn't look staged or human. Its posture was hunched forward, head slightly bowed, like it was deep in thought, or maybe just doing its own thing, not even caring if it was being watched. The hikers said the creature stood somewhere between 7 to 8 feet tall, didn't make any sudden movements or seem aggressive, just calmly walking by. Luckily, one of them had the reflexes to start snapping pictures, and these aren't your usual blurry, out-of-focus Bigfoot photographs either. These images are surprisingly clear. You can see the shape, the stance, and even the texture of its fur. No wild zooming needed. So, of course, the internet's been split down the middle. Some are calling it one of the best Bigfoot images of the years, while others are saying it's just a guy in a really well-made suit. But let's be honest, we've seen enough hoaxes to spot the bad ones, and this doesn't quite look like a fake. Or does it? What's the first thing you notice when you look at this rock formation? For me, it was a hand. Not just any hand, but a bizarre, almost lifelike one, with fingers clearly visible, as though reaching out from the stone itself. It's strange, right? The longer you stare, the more surreal it feels, like it's just too perfect to be natural. But the real question is, how did this formation come to be? Could it just be a coincidence that it looks so much like a hand, or is there something more to it? Something about it makes you wonder whether nature has a hand, pun intended, in creating things that seem almost too deliberate to be random. What do you think? In a place that defies familiarity, a bone-chilling spectacle unravels before a bewildered group of onlookers. They've managed to capture a genuinely hair-raising moment that'll send shivers down your spine. Here we are, facing a man who seems to have become a vessel for some unearthly, malevolent force. As the possessed man spirals into a disturbing frenzy, the air fills with his unearthly, hair-raising sounds and ominous warnings. It's as if a sinister omen from the other side has found its way into the realm, casting a sinister shadow over this nightmarish encounter. But what's truly petrifying is how this man, consumed by whatever holds him, vehemently repels anyone attempting to draw near. It's almost like he's fighting off an unseen evil that refuses to release its grip, a struggle that unfolds with terrifying intensity. So here's the bone-chilling question that lingers. Has a malevolent spirit ensnared this man's very soul? Is he held captive by a force so sinister it defies comprehension? Or could this be an elaborate and sinister charade, a performance that blurs the lines between reality and nightmare? There are some who believe it's a hoax, but it's just too chilling and scary to be. An explorer was wandering around the woods on the Isle of the Night, minding his own business, when he noticed something rustling in the leaves nearby. Naturally, he did what any of us would do. He whipped out his camera to document this mysterious occurrence. What he saw next, though, was truly out of this world. A creature emerged from behind the bushes, and it looked like one of those stereotypical aliens we often see in cartoons and movies. You know the ones: green skin, a massive head, and those big, black, unmissable eyes. But here's the kicker. The extraterrestrial visitor didn't stick around for a chat. After a brief appearance, it vanished right back into the darkness behind those same bushes. Oh, and to make things even stranger, there was the unmistakable sound of a chopper hovering above. Now that raises the question, were they after our odd-looking friend, or is there something else going on here? I'm not sure where this footage was taken, but what's shown is pretty bizarre. It starts with something strange in the sky, like a weird line cutting through the air. And it's not just any line, it looks like some sort of portal opening up in the sky and connecting to another one across the heavens. Have you ever heard of space laser weapons? Oh, they're a thing. It's a military weapon designed to shoot incredible powerful beams of energy or lasers at huge targets in space, or even on Earth. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but these lasers could intercept missiles or even break apart asteroids headed for Earth. It's known as a directed energy weapon, or DEW for short. People don't talk much about it, but there have always been whispers about its existence. So if what's captured on this footage is some kind of space laser in action, the real question is, what could they possibly be aiming at? A missile, a satellite, or is there something else out there in the sky that we don't know about yet? A man recently shared some truly bizarre footage he captured while walking through a wooded area. What he observed under one of the trees has left people utterly perplexed. In the video, you can see a dark figure standing under the branches of a large tree, but it's not just standing, it's watching him. Its eyes appear to glint, almost glowing, and it doesn't move, it just stands there silently creeping. When the man zooms in, you can make out what looks like a whitish face, oddly human-like, staring back at the camera. The rest of its body is completely dark from head to toe. You can't tell if it's covered in fur, shadows, or something else, but that face, that's what unsettled people. Some viewers think this could be a Bigfoot, although its smaller size and more human face have many doubting the theory. Others suggest it could be someone in a costume trying to pull off a hoax. But some believe this could be a new kind of cryptid. You've seen it, so what do you have to say?
Oh, come out so I can see you. Come out. Come on.
family living on a tribal reserve in Alberta, Canada, had an unsettling experience one evening. They were inside their home when they began hearing strange sounds coming from outside, so they stepped onto their porch with a camera, trying to locate the source. The noise was a strange gurgling sound that seemed to echo through the trees. What made it even more chilling was the way the sound seemed to taunt them, almost as if it was calling them out to play. Despite their efforts, they couldn't see anything in the dense forest surrounding their home. The family eventually called the police hoping for answers, but even the officers upon arriving experienced the same eerie sounds with no sign of a source. On the reserve, it's common to hear stories about mysterious creatures believed to inhabit the woods, passed down through native lore. Could this have been one of those legendary beings?
Come on up! Come on! Hey, just off!
Still on Strange Finds and Captures, this image was shared by a man who captured what appears to be a mysterious creature walking across a clearing in front of a dense forest. The creature is bipedal, covered in brown fur, and has a domed head, traits that match the classic description of Bigfoot. Once this image found its way online, it started a debate. Some thought it was the real deal, while others felt it was a man in a costume. Those who felt it was real referred to the way the entire body is built, especially the thighs. According to them, even a man in a costume couldn't feel those thighs or walk in that stride. Looking at it again, I get where they're coming from, but what do you guys think? Do they have a point, or is this just a really good costume? Back in the day, there was a wave of stories about people claiming to have been abducted by aliens or their livestock disappearing under mysterious circumstances, sometimes even turning up mutilated. While skeptics dismissed these stories as myths, many people truly believed they were real. And that's exactly why this footage has sparked so much debate. It comes from a news broadcast in Argentina. In the clip, a man is standing in front of a field, talking to the camera with nothing unusual at first, but then something strange happens in the background. A beam of light suddenly shapes itself into the ground, and right before everyone's eyes, a cow is lifted into the sky, and just like that, it vanishes. When people saw this, they were stunned. Some insisted that the footage was edited, but others believed this could be actual evidence of an alien abduction on camera. So what do you think? Just another internet trick, or did the UFO take a cow on live TV? Alien talk never seems to get old, does it? Every time there's a new piece of information, people are quick to jump on it, even if it's something that might or might not be real. This time, we got allegedly leaked footage from a secret facility. What's in the footage? Well, it's disturbing to say the least. You see a creature about 7 feet tall lying on a hospital bed. It's tied down, and the most noticeable thing is its belly. It looks strangely protruded, almost unnatural. According to the source of the leak, these beings are lactose intolerant, and the reason they ended up in hospital is, well, their diet was so messed up because it caused major problems. Sounds a bit out there, right? As wild as it sounds, there's no way to confirm if any of this is true, but it definitely raises some interesting questions. What if there's more to these creatures than we realize? And why would a secret facility be keeping them under wraps? As the world continues to evolve, new technology emerges constantly. We see advancements in phones and other devices almost every day. But have you ever wondered what the future of computers might look like? take a look at this fascinating concept about quantum computers.
Google just came out with that Willow chip, right? Which is a quantum computer. And they just did this test where they give it this one thing to figure out. And it would have taken our most impressive supercomputer in the world 10 septillion years to figure out this equation. That's 1 with 25 zeros behind it.
Still incomprehensible.
And it took Google's quantum computer Willow 5 minutes to figure it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's just these different theories of you're able to receive information from different dimensions.
Oh boy.
But supposedly the inventor of the quantum computer said that he was able to reach these different dimensions and speak to entities.
It's a mind-bending idea, but what do you think? How do you feel about the idea of quantum computers communicating through dimensions? While quantum computers are the next big thing for the world of tech, this clip might just determine what you next bring home with you.
Just these different theories of you're able to receive information from different dimensions.
Oh boy.
But supposedly the inventor of the quantum computer said that he was able to reach these different dimensions and speak to entities.
Someone shared this strange sighting they came across on a hilltop. It was a glowing object sitting up there, and in front of it, a dark figure that seemed to be shifting in and out of sight. Then, things took an even stranger turn. The glowing object suddenly spread what looked like angel-like wings, and in a flash of light, it shot upwards and vanished into thin air. Now, with some are saying it could be an angel, but, well, others believe this might be an interdimensional being crossing through dimensions. The footage itself is undeniably strange and has sparked a lot of debates online. Julius, on the other hand, thinks it's fake, yeah, as usual, but it's his default stance. What do you guys think this is? For those who don't know, the concept of UFOs has been around for quite a while. Some believe they're even mentioned in the Bible, specifically in the book of Enoch. That ancient text describes strange flying objects and beings from the sky, something that many believe could be early accounts of UFO encounters. And that brings us to this bizarre sighting. A man in Santa Monica was at the beach when he noticed something unusual hovering above the ocean. It was a strange glowing object in the sky, rotating yet staying in one place, almost as if it was watching. The resemblance to the descriptions in the book of Enoch was uncanny, and that's why people have started calling it Enoch UFO. So was this just some kind of drone, or could this really be a UFO? This next footage comes from Afghanistan, where some villagers in a mountain area noticed something strange climbing up the mountain. The figure appeared tall and skinny, moving extremely fast and effortlessly up the steep terrain. It was so unnatural that it became hard to tell if this was even human at all. But what happened next made it even more bizarre. As the figure reached the top of the mountain, it floated up into the sky. In another clip, someone else filmed something similar, except this time the figure appeared to be glowing a bright red. The lack of clarity in the footage makes it hard to determine what exactly this could be. Some believe it might be a drone, while others suggest it could be a UFO or an otherworldly entity. But what do you think it is? Still on strange creatures and occurrences, what do you think of this one? This is real, allegedly. It was recorded by a group of friends who were out on an adventure one evening. They came across this guy, and from afar they thought it might be wildlife like deer or something like that. As they got closer, however, they noticed it looked more canine than it did the herbivore they were expecting. They were fascinated by it and started to record. I mean, take a look at its unique head and the markings on it. Then there's its set of legs, which sometimes look like they're more than 4. The friends were initially fascinated, but the more they looked, the more they found the creature curious. Eventually, they decided it was best they left the place. One of them mentioned how the particular area they were currently in was famous for one thing: werewolves. Although no one had been able to prove their existence, every one of them was certain that's definitely what this creature was. You can see it too. So what do you think this is? A man was out in the woods late one evening when he had an encounter that left him running for his life. As he walked through the dense forest, he noticed a dark figure suddenly appear behind one of the trees. It wasn't just its presence that was unsettling, it was how it vanished. The tree trunk wasn't thick enough for anything to fully hide behind, yet the figure was gone in an instant. The moment he realized what had happened, he bolted out of the woods as fast as he could. No one can say for sure what this was. Some believe it could be a forest entity, perhaps one of the mysterious creatures known as hide-behinds. According to legends, these entities lurk in wooded areas, always staying out of sight by ducking behind trees. They're said to stalk lonely hikers, luring them deeper into the woods. Now, we can't confirm if what he saw was one of these legendary beings, but what would you do if you came face to face with something like this? Late one night, while driving home, a man saw something on the side of the road that made his heart skip a beat. There, illuminated by his headlights, was a woman dressed in white. Her head was bowed, causing her long dark hair to fall like a curtain over her face. Her hands were clasped in front of her, adding to the eeriness of the scene. As he drove by, the woman did not move. She didn't even glance at the car passing by. It was as if she was frozen in time. The sight sent chills down his spine. Who or what was she? Was she some sort of entity, a ghostly apparition, or just a random woman standing by the roadside? But then why would anyone stand at the side of the road in the middle of the night, especially in such an unsettling manner? He kept glancing in his rearview mirror, half expecting her to suddenly appear closer or to start following his car, but she remained still, a solitary figure in the darkness. Who do you think she is? Still on hauntings, dolls are one of the things that can easily be possessed. In this footage, a man visits a doll shop filled with vintage dolls. These aren't brand new, they have an eerie, old-fashioned look to them. He brought along a heat vision camera to scan the whole place. When the camera was pointed at him and his friend, they both appeared with an orange color indicating heat and essentially life. As they scanned the dolls, none showed any signs of heat, except for one. This particular doll appeared to have the same orange heat signature as the living people in the room. Dolls are lifeless, so how is this possible? Possession. The idea of a possessed doll is not something new. Many stories and legends speak of dolls harboring spirits or entities. They're believed to be an easy vessel for spirits to inhabit due to their human-like appearance. The heat signature could indicate some form of energy or presence within the doll, which aligns with tales of possession. Is it possible that a spirit or entity has taken residence in this doll, giving it an inexplicable warmth, or is there a more mundane explanation we're overlooking? This footage comes with little context, but what it captures is definitely strange. A passenger in a car was filming the mountains while driving when she caught something unusual on camera. In the sky, a flying disc suddenly zips across the flame at an incredible speed. It happens so quickly that if you blink, you might miss it. But when you slow it down, you can clearly see the object moving across the sky. The disc's movement is smooth and deliberate, leaving little doubt that it's something more than just a trick of the light or a bird in flight. Its shape and speed make it look very much like the classic UFOs reported over the decades. What could this be? A secret military craft? A genuine UFO? This video was captured in England and shows something truly remarkable. A resident noticed these bright lights in the distance around 3:30 a.m. As she watched, she realized the lights were coming from a rather large object hovering in the sky. The object was massive and the lights were so bright that they lit up the area around it. The resident couldn't shake the feeling that what she was seeing wasn't ordinary. She believed that this might be some sort of mothership, possibly a large UFO. But what are your thoughts? Is it an advanced aircraft, or could it really be something out of this world? Back in 2023, a NASA satellite captured something extraordinary, a dark, long mass attaching itself to the sun. Now, we all know that the sun is a massive ball of fire of energy, so this sight is quite intriguing. Some people believe this dark mass is some sort of alien technology, perhaps a device that's sucking energy from the sun. The idea of aliens harvesting solar energy sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? However, the Julius kind had a different take. One commented on this. A solar tornado is a phenomenon where solar material gets twisted into a tornado-like shape by the sun's magnetic fields. It's a natural event, but still incredibly fascinating to watch. The forces at play on the sun are immense, creating these dramatic and powerful structures. So what do you think? Is this dark mass an alien energy siphoning device or just a natural solar phenomenon? Researchers were out exploring a cave in Mexico when they stumbled upon something extraordinary. They discovered the remains of a dog-like creature, but this wasn't your typical dog. Its jaws were lined with sharp teeth, and it had 4 legs, looking quite fierce even in its skeletal form. Now here's where things get really interesting. Some people believe these remains could belong to the legendary chupacabra, a cryptid from Mexican folklore. The chupacabra is often described as a blood-sucking creature that preys on livestock, and sightings have been reported for years, though evidence has always been elusive. Initial examinations showed that while this creature had some canine features, there were significant differences. The teeth were sharper and more pointed, ideal for tearing flesh, and the bones showed signs of a creature that had a powerful build. So what do you think? Could this really be the remains of the legendary chupacabra, or is there another explanation for this strange discovery? A passerby in an unknown location caught something on camera that left everyone scratching their heads. It was a silhouette of what looked like a person floating down from the sky. It wasn't like a regular landing, though. It gently touched down on the side of a building, holding on with one hand like it was no big deal. But here's where it gets even weirder. On the other hand, it started making strange, deliberate movements, almost like it was controlling something. Above it, this odd object hovered in the air, following the figure's every movement. It's hard to make sense of this. Was it some kind of high-tech stunt, or maybe something more mysterious? Watching the footage, it's easy to feel a little unsettled. What do you think? Next, we visit the woods where a strategically positioned trail camera has captured something rather interesting. Take a look. Who does that look like? The big guy himself, right? If the original post is to be believed, then this is definitely one of the clearest clips we've had of Bigfoot. The individual didn't give us a lot of context or information, so we don't know where this was captured, only that it was captured this year. While some in the community are excited about the capture, there are some who feel the whole thing is a hoax and could have been generated with AI. While I get the concerns, if this is truly real, then it's safe to say that Bigfoot is basically more human-like with fur than that of an ape. Anyway, what do you guys also think? A woman in Aceh, Indonesia captured something on camera that has left people baffled. She was filming at the beach, just taking in the view, when she noticed something unusual far out in the water. At first, it was easy to miss, just a ripple near the island in the distance, but then on the right side of the water, something began to move. A long, twisting shape slithered across the ocean's surface. It didn't look like a wave, it didn't move like a fish. Given how far out she was, whatever this was had to be massive. Some people think she caught proof of a sea serpent, one of the most elusive creatures of folklore, a legend that's been told for centuries but never confirmed. Others think it could be an enormous eel, a giant oarfish, or maybe even an illusion or mirage caused by the interplay between light and water. The footage is not clear enough to say for sure, and that only adds to the mystery. The ocean has always held secrets, some that we may never fully understand. This may just be another piece of the puzzle that is yet to be solved. Next, we got this clip captured by a motion camera system on private property. At first glance, it looks like there's nothing there, and that it's false positive, but a closer look and you'll realize that there's a figure moving through the trees. Can you see it? It's actually hold on a minute. Maybe I should let you guys do the commentary on this one. If you can see what I see, do your own commentary and let us know what your theory is. If you think the whole thing is fake too, do not hesitate to let me know. The best answer gets featured in the next episode and receives a shout out. I actually believe I've covered this before, so it'll be a nice way to see the OGs here. The floor is yours. Still on the strange sounds, a woman from Kansas shared this intriguing video. She'd gone into a barn when she noticed something unusual. The metal bars were vibrating as though something underground was causing the entire structure to shake. This incident draws an eerie parallel to the strange underground noises reported in Kentucky. Could these events be connected? Are there secret systems or tunnels being constructed below our feet? It's hard to say, but there are some who think that's the case. You've seen both clips, so what do you think?
That's a hiker.
No, it's not, bro. That's not a person.
That's way bigger than a hiker, bro.
Bro, that's not. Oh, it just disappeared. What the?
Just go, bro.
A group of friends noticed some unusual motion on a nearby mountain slope while hanging out at a home. Upon closer look, they saw what appeared to be a large humanoid figure walking steadily up the mountain. But just as they tried to make sense of it, the figure vanished into thin air. At first, they assumed it was just a hiker making their way up the slope, but the sudden disappearance left them baffled. While the idea of something supernatural or otherworldly is intriguing, let's be honest, this footage screams fake. The vanishing act looks like it was edited. In fact, Julius walked in and said, "I know an Adobe edit when I see one." Either way, what do you think?
person. That's way bigger than a fucking hiker, bro.
Bro, that's not. Oh, it just disappeared. What the?
Just go, bro.
Nope.
Someone shared this footage they took one night, believing they'd captured a rake. The video is very dark, but we can still make out the outline of a figure. It appears to be a pale humanoid creature crouching on the ground with round, glowing eyes. This description matches the typical depiction of a rake, a terrifying creature from internet folklore. However, skeptics believe this could easily be staged, perhaps someone wearing a costume with glowing eye effects. In today's world of CGI and digital editing, almost anything is possible. The footage is also not very clear, making it difficult to get a proper judgment. Without more details or a better quality video, it's hard to say for sure. What do you think? Could this be an actual sighting or just another internet hoax? This unusual incident from Belém, Brazil seems to suggest that a world-ending fart might indeed be a thing. In this bizarre story, passengers aboard a bus could be seen leaving in apparent distress, and one unfortunate woman even fainted. The cause? Someone let out a fart so potent that it brought the ride to an abrupt halt. The driver, realizing the situation was untenable, had to stop the bus and evacuate everyone. While the identity of the culprit remains a mystery, one can't help but wonder what they might have eaten before boarding. It's certainly an amusing situation, but next time you want to fart, please think about the people around you before you have people passing out. Have you heard of the Dyatlov Pass incident? Back in 1959, a group of tourists mysteriously vanished while hiking in the Ural Mountains in Russia. When a search party finally located them, their bodies were found scattered across the area under chilling circumstances, with injuries that have baffled investigators to this day. What's even more unsettling is that footage retrieved from the tourists' belongings contained a particular image, one that some believe shows a large humanoid figure lurking in the background. Fast forward to years later, another piece of footage emerged filmed in the same region, capturing a similar creature. Many now speculate that this creature could have been a Bigfoot-like cryptid, and some even believe it was responsible for the deaths of the hikers. Could this creature truly have been linked to the eerie fate of the Dyatlov group, or is it just another mystery lost to time? A man went out hiking. He didn't say where, but it's said that the area is very famous for a lot of Bigfoot sightings. As he was hiking, he noticed something walking among the trees ahead of him. It was a huge bipedal creature moving between the trees. He quickly took out his phone and started recording. The creature seemed unaware of his presence, or maybe it just didn't care. Its movements were deliberate and powerful, pushing through the underbrush with ease. The man tried to get a closer look, moving as quietly as he could. Through the trees, he could see the creature's dark, shaggy fur and its massive frame. It stood at least 7 feet tall, with broad shoulders and long, muscular arms. The video was grainy and the creature was partially obscured by the trees, but there was no denying that this was a Bigfoot. What say you? Your idea of walking stick might change when you see the next clip I've got to show you. Yup, that's a walking stick, an actual, fully grown stick or branch or branches of a tree walking. As much as I would love to see this and interact with this, I do not need to be science whiz to know this clip is certainly doctored. Everything about it screams edited, and the fact that we don't get to see it in full frame and the right part is cut off validates this assumption of mine. But what do you guys think, though? Have you ever seen a stick walking, or is this just someone attempting to have their 5 minutes of fame? Have you ever seen the end of a rainbow? No? Well, watch this clip.
It's hitting us.
Yep, it does look like the end of a rainbow, doesn't it? Does such a thing exist, though? Julius had answered this question for us before, and I just forgot the answer. Rather than go back to him to explain again, I decided to ask GPT for help, and GPT had a lot to say. According to ChatGPT, clips showing people appearing near the end of a rainbow are fascinating but can be explained by the way rainbows work. These instances usually occur when the observer is close to the mist or water droplets, creating rainbows such as near a waterfall or fountain or during light rain. In these cases, the rainbow might appear to touch the ground or seem within reach, giving the illusion of standing near its end. When we look at the clip, it looks like they might be near a waterfall, as we can hear water crashing into what they're filming from a height. If that's true, then there's no real end of a rainbow. That's a bummer when you think about it.
It's hitting us.
When I saw this next footage, I was so shocked. Take a look.
Move!
A man found himself stranded on a deserted road in the middle of nowhere. And the reason? There was a pool of water in the middle of the road. Now, this isn't just any ordinary puddle, because what happens next is beyond belief. He decided to throw a bottle into the water, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, a massive crocodile surfaced, wiggling about in the water. A large one at that. The fact that such a massive creature could be lurking in what seemed like just a harmless puddle is truly terrifying. Makes you think twice about crossing any mysterious bodies of water, doesn't it? What would you do if you found yourself in this situation?
Move!
We all know how shadows work. When an object blocks light, it casts its form onto a surface. We all have shadows, right?
Someone explain to me what the fuck this is a shadow of.
Well, a man was out one night when he noticed something strange on the ground. There was a shadow of a long pole, clear as day. But when he looked around, there was nothing that could be casting it. The only pole nearby was several meters away, and it wasn't even close to matching the length or position of the mysterious shadow. So what's happening here? Could this be some sort of glitch in reality, or is there another explanation?
What the fuck this is a shadow of. There's nothing above me.
Tucker Carlson recently shared a chilling account that has left many talking. He claims to have been attacked by a demon in the middle of the night, describing it as an unseen force that left claw marks on his body. Stories like these aren't new. Across the world, various cultures have long spoken of malevolent entities or demonic forces that interact with humans. Some dismiss these encounters as sleep paralysis or psychological phenomenon, but others believe they're evidence of something beyond our understanding. What's striking is that Tucker Carlson is a well-known public figure, which makes his account somewhat credible. Could there really be unseen forces at work, or is there another explanation for these mysterious events? It's been a while since we've seen footage claiming to capture a matrix glitch, but take a look at this one. A family was out for a drive when they noticed something bizarre in the sky above a tall building. It was an airplane, but it wasn't moving. The craft was completely frozen in mid-air as if suspended in time. Even as the family drove beneath it and continued past, the plane remained stationary in the sky, not showing any signs of motion. What could explain this strange phenomenon? Is it truly a matrix glitch, or could it be an optical illusion, a rare atmospheric condition, or something else entirely? What's your take on this? I've always wondered what a person's final moments feels like, and this footage adds another layer to the curiosity. A family had set up a surveillance in a room to monitor their elderly grandfather. What they captured is truly mysterious. As the grandfather was lying on his bed or sofa, a strange light appeared near him. At first, you might think it's just a reflection. After all, the footage is recorded from a phone monitoring the care camera. But then something eerie happens. The old man, visibly weak, actually turns his head toward the light, acknowledging its presence. The light seems to float around him for a while, as if it's observing him, and then the clip ends. What could this have been? A reflection, or perhaps something more spiritual? A man came across a truly fascinating tree while walking through his property, and honestly, it's one of the moments where nature just leaves you in awe. The tree was massive, its trunk firmly rooted deep into the soil. But what made it so unique was that on one side of the tree, there was this thick branch, though calling it a branch, well, might be an understatement. It was like a whole other tree sprouting out of the main one. This branch wasn't connected to the ground at all, yet it grew upward just as tall and strong as the primary trunk, stretching toward the sky. It's like the tree was splitting itself in two, creating this beautiful, almost surreal sight. How incredible is that?
But all the weight from this tree is just resting on here. There's nothing, connecting it. So that is one strong trunk.
A man was driving home late one night when he encountered something truly bizarre in the sky. Suspended in mid-air was a tall, dark figure, its form eerily still against the backdrop of the night. It was as if a cloaked entity was hovering, defying gravity itself. Shocked and frozen in place, the man grabbed his phone and started filming. The figure had no discernible features, just a shadowy presence looming above. Some believe it could be a supernatural entity like a witch, a spirit, or something otherworldly. Others argue that it might be a UFO, cleverly disguised or cloaked in darkness. Skeptics suggest it could be a hoax, perhaps a drone carrying an object to create the illusion of something ominous. But the eerie stillness of the figure, the way it seemed completely unaffected by the wind, made it all the more unsettling. We got another potential mermaid sighting to dive into. This one was captured along the shores of the ocean, and it's stirring up a lot of debate online. In the footage, you can see what looks like a pale human-like figure with a green fishtail. The creature appears to be swimming, then quickly dives under the water and disappears. It's a short clip, but it definitely raises questions. Some people believe this is authentic mermaid evidence, while others aren't convinced. One commenter pointed out that the way the creature moves is too stiff and awkward. A real mermaid would glide much more gracefully, like how marine life naturally moves into water. This left us wondering if someone faked it just to get views, or if it was actually a glimpse of something hiding beneath the waves. Now take a look at this clip and let me know if you see anything weird. You see it, don't you? In the opening clip, a woman stands at a podium delivering a speech, but if you shift your focus to the audience, you'll spot another woman seated near the front. As the speaker continues, this woman begins to subtly mimic every word, her lips perfectly syncing with the speaker's. The eerie imitation goes on for a while until she suddenly notices she's being watched. In a quick, almost instinctive motion, she raises her hand to her face, feigning a scratch on her nose, but it's her wide, unnerving gaze that truly sends a chill down the spine. Now, in another instance, during a senator's speech, a man seated in the audience also shows this strange behavior. While he doesn't move his lips, his eyes remain unnaturally wide, staring directly at the senator. He seems frozen, only blinking occasionally and with just one eye at a time. Even more unsettling is an older clip of Joe Biden giving a speech. Behind him stands a woman with the same wide-eyed fixed stare watching him intently, almost as if she's in a trance. Some believe they're alien handlers sent to monitor these leaders and ensure compliance with a dark agenda. Others suggest they might be agents tasked with guiding or even manipulating what's said and done. In fact, one viewer who watched the first clip live noticed something chilling. Whenever the woman on stage deviated from her prepared speech, the audience woman flinched slightly. So what do you think? Are these individuals truly handlers set to ensure order? Or is this just a series of bizarre coincidences? Julius thinks they wrote the speeches for the politicians and are subconsciously following it, but isn't that just a bit too convenient? Or am I the only one looking for a story where there is none? This is a funny one from Russia. The gas station tried to run a cheeky promotion by offering free fuel to anyone who showed up wearing a bikini. The idea was to attract attention on maybe a few bikini-clad women for the publicity stunt, but things didn't go exactly as planned. Instead of women, a bunch of men showed up in bikinis, proudly strutting to the pumps and posing for photographs as they filled up their cars, all to claim their free gas. It turned into a hilarious scene with these guys in bright bikinis laughing and totally owning the moment. The gas station had definitely got attention it wanted, just not in the way they expected.
If I was going to get free gas in the world today, I'd wear a bikini. Hell, I'd wear a mankini, and I'd just wear anything with the word kini. I don't care. But with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. And by the way, sorry about my voice. It's a little bit croaky today, but what are you going to do?
But with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go with our clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't, well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. You know what? We can't wait to receive what you have.
I've been Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Now remember, share this with as many people as you can. People you love, people you want to annoy, people, quite frankly, who just have no idea what the hell they're watching. Because that's funny too. And I'll see you in the next one.